I love character actors. Heck, I don't even just love character actors. I have a fondness for working actors. Performers who you look at it and go, who's that guy? Or who's that? Why do I know that face? Who is that and why do they look so familiar? Welcome back to Piercing Pop Culture, and we're keeping it a little informal this time around. Today we're talking Curator's Notes, a new segment I'm bringing in where just do a little talking, get a little bit behind the scenes, and just let you know what's going on here at Piercing Pop Culture. My number one viewed actor over on Letterboxd has been, for the last number of years anyway, Dick Miller. And this is the vibe that I want to bring to Piercing Pop Culture. A deep dive into who these performers were, who kept the television and kept overlooked media going for the better part of the 1950s through the 1980s. People like Miller. Right now I'm currently down a deep dive for an actor, Douglas Henderson, somebody who I was not familiar with by name, was definitely familiar with by face, who I'll be talking about in more detail on Thursday's episode of the Virginian Vault. A little stay tuned for that. And I've been leaning deeply into my belief that I've came to figure out over the last few years that we did not deserve Whit Bissell, and Whit Bissell was a trooper. So stay tuned for more on that. I hope to spend all the time talking about Bissell because I absolutely adore every fiber of his being as a performer. Similarly, I have had a research fascination really in the last couple of years about women behind the camera in classic TV. TV has always been defined, pigeonholed as a bit of a boys' club. We hear so much about all the actors and all the directors and all the creators who made Hollywood what it is now in the 1970s and the 1980s. Men like Steven Spielberg, men like William Friedkin, men like Richard Donner. These legendary directors all got their start on television in the 1950s and 1960s. We hear constantly about men like Neil Simon and Mel Brooks getting their start early in their careers writing for Sid Caesar. And this is all so true and so notable. But it got me thinking, the deeper I got into my classic TV research about the women. And that was really jump-started by my research into Kathleen Haidt. If you've been in and around Piercing Pop Culture, I've talked about Haidt before, and I'm going to keep doing it. So Kathleen Haidt is best known to audiences now, at least, as a writer on Gunsmoke, the long-running Western. I believe she was credited on the 40-something episodes, thinking off the cuff right here. And she spent most of her time writing on Westerns throughout the Western wave, going through, I think, credits at the end of her career on things like the Waltons. Haidt opened a door for me into questions that I had never really thought of, people that I never heard about. Jean Holloway. Heck, even someone like D.C. Fontana, who wrote for Star Trek. Verity Lambert on Doctor Who. All of these women who were working behind the camera, writing, creating, even in roles that weren't as well documented. These were names that I had never heard of, at least at this point in my research. Figures that I didn't know, and all of a sudden I discovered I had to know more, especially as I realized how prolific people like Jean Holloway and Kathleen Haidt really were. Like so much of the rest of my work, these are figures I want to talk about. I want to open people's eyes here at Piercing Pop Culture. I want to spread the news, spread the interesting facts. These are creators we should know about. These are names classic TV fans should be aware of. If I wasn't, I'm sure other people weren't as well. Applause, of course, to those of you who are sitting here going, well, yes, I don't know why you didn't know. Over the next few months here, is because these are going to have to be scripted, not so much organic pieces. I want to be able to start talking more about these women behind the camera who were doing great work, who were helping shape television, and frankly, who we don't talk enough about. And last but not least, I may or may not be diving back into my creative happy place, my fiction happy place. I'm going to start sprinkling some of those here on Piercing Pop Culture as well. Fear not, it's not going to become a fiction podcast. I've been doing some fictional snippets, fictional fragments that have really gotten my brain spinning in the world really of classic television and the death of the Western and the birth of new Hollywood and exploitation. And this is a world that I've wanted to explore more, exploring these characters, creating a space within these to develop. Ultimately, probably scratching an itch that I've had for years upon years to dive into audio fiction. So these will not be, of course, full episodes. These will not, at least as of my plan, replacing any of the main drops. But this is an experiment that I'm currently working on scripting out that I hope to start dropping on Piercing Pop Culture here soon. So if you're at all into audio fiction, audio drama, stay tuned. I hope to have that coming at you soon. This is a bit of a quicker episode, but I just want to pop in, talk a little behind the scenes, and let you know what was being worked on here. Stay tuned for more. Our usual drops will continue on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Have a good one all.